And here's the thing is that are people not allotted mistakes? You know what I mean? Sometimes you need to make that mistake in order for you to reflect on it and get better from it. You know, sometimes, you might say something that's misguided or ignorant, and then somebody calls you out on it. And, you know, the hope from there is that you're able to reflect on it. Like, be able to be honest with yourself, not get so defensive, not put your shields up, be like, okay, maybe there's a possibility here that I fucked up. Maybe I got to look into what it is that I'm thinking and what it is that I said, or what it is that I did even, and reevaluate this and then learn from it. But then if you're talking about, because this person fucked up, we should cancel this person, then you're essentially saying people aren't allowed to make mistakes. Sometimes people do stupid things. And
especially when it's in the past, right? And then you haven't seen these type of behaviors reflected in who they are now.
Yeah.
Then I honestly, what's the whole point of digging something up that happened 10 years ago that isn't a reflection of the person that you see before you, the content that they create, right? So I'll give a great example. So I have a couple friends of mine. They did this video. They basically played this game, and it's terrible. Not even in hindsight, what they did, it was pretty bad, right? And so they were drawing this. This is what the game is. Let me just preface that. So the game was, you have a hat, and inside this hat are a bunch of people that it is impossible to make fun of, right? That is the whole shtick of the game.
Okay.
And so they had a lot of people in there. They had like Jesus, whatever, the Dalai Lama, whoever you can name it. One of the names that was in that hat was Trayvon Martin.
Okay.
It got drawn, and the person who made that joke wasn't my friends. It was Shane Dawson, who he's under fire for a lot of things. We'll talk about that another time. And he made a joke about Trayvon Martin, the kid who was murdered. And he said, maybe you wouldn't have gotten murdered if you had a job. And it's like, what the fuck? You know, like, what the fuck were you thinking, right? But they got burned because they laughed at the joke. Doesn't help that they're white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they put out a public apology video, and you guys know who they are. They're Steve and Nikki. So Steve and Nikki put out a public apology video. The first one that they did wasn't that great. I don't think they worded it very well. I think they got scared. And so they wanted to put out a quick apology video, but they did a second one, which was a lot better, and they apologized for it. They apologized with how it hurt the community, specifically in these times right now. And a lot of people were asking me, it's like, well, you're doing these, why don't you roast them? I was like, because they apologized. They were quick about it. They apologized. They made these videos. And because they are my personal friends, do they get preferential treatment? Of course they fucking do. We have a personal fucking relationship. If before I even got to contact them, they already apologized.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do I need to do? Call them up and be like, hey, you should apologize. They already did. So they knew that they fucked up. They knew that it happened in the past, and they already put that video down before the whole BLM movement happened. They didn't take it down because of BLM. They took it down years ago because they looked back on it and they thought it was fucked up. But there was a kid named Jay Versace, who I do follow. This kid's fucking funny. He put their stuff out and he put them on blast. And so they took that small clip, and I think like the original apology, it was done kind of too suddenly. So it kind of came off as if they were trying to make excuses for their behavior, but it really wasn't the case. And when they came out with the second apology, which is how they really felt, and they better worded it, it showed change, right? And I know them personally. They don't have like a hateful racist bone in their fucking body. And because I had that personal relationship and I haven't seen that from them in the 3-4 years that I've known, I can vouch for them and say that. They still have to apologize, which they already did. So what's the whole point of me taking the clip of the video and doing an angry rant about them when I can just talk to them mano a mano?
And that's the biggest fundamental difference, though, is that, you know, some of these people that you've roasted, they get defensive and actually double down sometimes.
Yes, they do.
On what they said. They're not taking a moment to reflect and being like, oh shit, maybe I did something wrong or said something wrong here. Maybe I should, you know, reevaluate and apologize. I mean, some of these people are not doing that. So when you've taken the moment to reflect on what it is that you did, and you know, everybody processes it differently. You could learn about it same day, or you might need to take a week or 2 weeks or whatever, right? But whatever the case is, once you come to the conclusion, I fucked up here, and since I did that publicly, I need to offer up an apology publicly as well. Then what is there to roast about that? And
they already apologized.
And look, I could see the argument of, oh, you know, but they only did it because they got attacked. Again, there are plenty of other people who are getting attacked who will not offer you an apology, who will double down on what they're saying, get defensive about what they're saying, and stick to their guns, you know?
Yeah, and like I said, I know them. I've had personal conversations with them, and their situation too I mean, Nikki, she's like part Filipino and whatever, right? Yeah. But that girl's white as fuck. She's as white as it fucking gets, you know? And, you know, the girl grew up around a majority of fucking white people. And, you know, Steve is as white as it gets. It doesn't help Steve's case that he looks like a KKK member too. I'm fucking with you, Steve. I love you. But, you know, he looks like prototypically he could be a racist. You know, if you take a look at him. But in their case, I know them. So yeah, they do get a pass because I could just talk to them personally. I don't have to do a rant video. I know them. Yeah. I can call them up and be like, bro, what the fuck were you thinking? Yeah. But then when I saw the video, it was from years ago. And I know that they already took that video down before because they knew how dumb it was. Yeah. They already learned from this. I haven't seen the reflection in that. So these people have grown from the situation. Yeah. So what's the whole point of beating somebody down and try to correct the behavior? They've already corrected themselves.
And look, that's what I'm saying is like people are, one, super hypersensitive, and two is they won't do their due diligence as well, because sometimes it's like they'll, you know, something's going on, an event or whatever, and you know, I'll look at Twitter as one of the outlets for like real-time news updates, and then I'll see certain things like maybe supplemental evidence coming out of a certain incident, right? Of, yeah, there's a behavior of this pattern, whatever. But sometimes that's just straight up bullshit. It's just straight up made up, you know? And people start thinking, oh yeah, that's valid evidence because somebody tweeted it and posted it out. You know? It's like, nah, you got to do your due diligence too. Do they have a history of this behavior, you know? Or is this more like a momentary lapse in judgment? Is just a fuck up, right? And can they come back from this?
Yeah, it's because a lot of some of y'all motherfuckers act like you're perfect. If I look, the only difference between you and some of these other people, and I guarantee you probably done way more fucked up things than these people have and haven't learned from it, is that they're in the public eye. They're public figures.
For sure.
You're no fucking different. And some of you are 10 times fucking worse. Like there was I'll give the greatest example. Remember that one girl who wore that Chinese dress for her prom? And then people were flipping out about it, saying it was cultural appropriation, that this Chinese dress isn't your fucking costume or whatever. But this Asian dude that attacked her, people found his tweets and he was dropping the N-bomb with the hard R. Like, bitch, who the fuck do you think you are? You're talking about cultural appropriation and being racist? You're 10 times worse. Right. She just wore a dress and she looked good. And the funny thing was, in that situation, people in China were like, what's the problem? She looked good. Like, she looked so good. Like, what's the problem, man? You know, they were tripping. Yeah. But this guy wanted to make a big deal about it because for some reason it bothered him. When he's the one going around saying racial obscenities about another culture and another race. So how are you any different? So it makes me wonder about people who are pointing these fingers so fucking hard. Like, what are the closets that you're hiding? Yeah. Or the skeletons in your closet that you're hiding?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that sometimes, well, that's